Well, it's been a fair amount of time coming to one of the events which we all look forward to. Well, I do anyway, because I'm quite involved in it. But it's the Excellence Awards, which are being put back. And we've now got Trudi Williamson here from Isle of Man newspapers. Trudi, obviously last year wasn't going to happen, but it's good news is it's on for this year. But we have that usual conversation about this time about getting those entries in. Is that right?
That's always the challenge, Paul. We could very easily put an event on last November because obviously we were all free out and about. But we didn't really think that the summer was the right time to ask people to be in competition with each other when we were all being so community focused and so kind. So so we put it back. At the moment, we've put it back to March the 19th. We're obviously very aware of the date, very aware of the situation, and we're monitoring that with the Villa Marina, who have been absolutely amazing with us with flexibility. But the challenge with the awards is always getting people to enter. Putting the event on, whilst it's a big event for 1,300 people, actually encouraging people to take part is the hard thing because no one naturally wants to put their head above the parapet. So as ever, I think we've about 12 entries and we close on Friday. Now, I sort of used to have sleepless nights. I now know that things will happen between the end of deadline on Friday and our letterbox by Monday morning when we go in will be overflowing. We normally have half in on time and half rammed through the door on the days after. But the judging actually starts on Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. So what isn't in by then can't be included. It's
very interesting because I say I've been involved and people who win, they get such a buzz out of the whole thing, the evening and just having that acknowledgement of what you do. And over the years, you've changed the awards anyway, don't you? You never seem to have 2 years where exactly the same awards given out. You sort of focus it on the areas of...
Yes, we try and respond to the response we have, but we've been caught out many times. We had small, medium, enterprise used to be so big that we split it into small and medium, and then everybody entered small. So we had to go back to the SME. This year, obviously, because of circumstances, we have some new ones in around supporting the community, the island's well-being. We've got one which is sponsored by Gamesy, which is actually doing the impossible during the pandemic. So that's obviously one that's especially for this year. Award for our local heroes. Wilton are a new client to us as well this year, so they're doing our local heroes. And another brand new one is our local food producers, because of course the people that excelled during lockdown were people involved with food, either producing, selling or delivering. So there's lots of new ones. We still have Brown Crane, business of the year. Should I go through them all, Paul?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Just quickly. So we have the Brown Crane Award for Business of the Year, the Manx Gas for business supporting our community, very relevant. The Zurich Award for caring for the island's well-being, which is about 3 years now we've been doing that one and it's growing. The Manning Award, very relevant, being the Manning as caterers, celebrating our local food producers. Games, as I said, doing the impossible during the pandemic. The Appleby Award for innovation and independent thinking is always a big category, so we expect it to be the same this year. We do Leader of the Year, which is chosen totally by the judges. Shaw is sponsoring that category this year, but the judges, the 16 judges, sit around the table and they make that decision, and it's a lively debate, I can assure you. Dandara is sponsoring Nurturing Arts, Culture and Heritage. The Wilton Awards, as I mentioned, for local heroes. The Creamery Protecting Our Environment, very relevant. Poker Stars for providing excellent customer service. And again, I think we've seen some extraordinary customer service during the last nearly a year, isn't it? 9 or 10 months. We also have Public Sector Achievement of the Year, sponsored by Playtech, where I can't imagine that there won't be dozens of entries from anything to do, obviously, with nursing and the department, and of course 111 would be a great one for that. The Government Award for Sharing Our Freedom to Flourish is always the finale. Lanson's Awards for the previously mentioned SME, I'm nearly there. Utmost for Teams Working Together, which again, very relevant this year. And finally, the Manx Telecom Award for third sector supporting the community. And again, we've seen massive and many examples of how well they've done this year.
And the one thing you can't mention, of course, on the night is the lifetime achievement, which is always the moment when someone in the room normally gets a massive surprise.
Well, interestingly, we only decided this yesterday.
Oh, really?
So we know who it is. We have some appointments with family for later this week, just to get a sign-off and approval and a bit more information. But a very, very, very worthy person. Yeah,
I love doing these videos for you for that, because we try to keep it secret in the Isle of Man is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So,
well, considering we kept Ray Cox a secret last year, when many, many, many of the parish walkers knew because they were coming, he was totally shocked.
Now, to enter, how difficult is it? Because people got to fill in forms. You know they don't like doing that, but first of all, they need to find them. Is it on your website? Or how do you do it?
They're all on the website, yes. If you go into Isle of Man today, they're clearly there. It isn't an easy thing. We have taken a little bit, we've reduced it slightly this year. We've tightened up the application form or the entry form, but yet this is a competition where you truly have to put a lot of effort in to get as a shortlist. And when you said it's exciting for the winners, I don't think people realise just how well they've done if they're in that final three. Sometimes they're competing against 20, 25 people who are hugely successful, often big businesses versus smaller businesses. It's a very broad section in most of the categories. So, yes, to get down to that final three is a massive achievement, but it takes a lot of effort.
And you always hear about people saying, oh, it's so difficult how do you find a judging panel that are completely independent? Because it's a small place, and everyone knows everybody else. How do you deal with that sort of feedback?
Oh, well, that's not difficult to find people who will be interested in judging. I don't think when they first do it, they realise just how much work. I think last year they totted up 500 hours between them of judging, because the judges start the process in pairs with two categories, and then they bring it to a big judging day. And it's a bit hairy, scary sometimes, because, they have to present why, and they present their top five. It often doesn't turn out as stage one. By the time it goes to the whole debate, things flip and change. And obviously there's conflicts of interest, so those people have to go into a different room. Some people are out quite a lot if they're involved in different businesses. There's a famous story how we once left someone in a room when we're all having lunch. We'd forgotten to invite them back in, and we sat having lunch and realised one person was missing for a while. He did eventually forgive me. But we're very serious about how we keep things very separate. Okay. And Isle of Man newspapers have no involvement whatsoever in the judging.
Just to finish with, have you got the big host, or is that going to be difficult this year? Because normally you have someone over from the UK, a well-known name. How are you going to do it this year?
Well, we're trying to be a bit trendy as well as looking at things from a different angle. So Giles Brandreth is going to be with us a la Gogglebox. So I think many of you will have seen Giles. I'm hoping we will bedeck his sitting room with Manxness. We're getting a few jumpers made, and we've got the flags ready to go, and the Fenoddery gin, and the lovely bubbles from down in Port Erin. So we will be furnishing him with a hamper of Manx produce that he can enjoy while he's watching. Hopefully he won't drink all the booze while throughout the evening, but never mind if he does. But really specially, we have Mickey Swindale, who is going to be hosting on stage. Now, Mickey last year hosted our Community Kindness Awards, and wow, she bowled us over, really. We couldn't have been more pleased. I won't say more surprised, because we expected her to do well, but she was extraordinary, and she did it with Matt Fletcher from 3FM, and they did a great job. So Matt will be backstage doing some interviewing, and Mickey is going to be on the stage, and it's going to be different because she's going to have to be flipping to Giles and herself. So we're trying to do this year more of a one event, so it won't be this person doing something and that person. We're wanting people, when they arrive, to feel they've arrived somewhere special.
Fine.
And,
well, before you go, just one more time, Isle of Man newspaper website, go there and find all the details, or special site, or what?
Yeah, if you go to our website, isleofmantoday.co.im, and you will find a click through to Awards for Excellence at the top, and everything you can find on site online. And we're very happy to receive applications by email, There's an email address as well. And I think I had about 15 inquiries yesterday about stretching the deadline. So I'll say to everyone, it's Monday night, or sort of between 9 and 10 on Tuesday morning, but we must have your top sheet in on time. That's the requirement. We must know that it's coming, and we'll give you a few days extra to tweak if you feel that you need them.